So, and once you realize how much you have been giving your power away, oh, it hurts. It hurts so much. It's also freeing, it's liberating, it's healing, because you also have reconciled with a deeper sense of self-respect and self-worth and self-love. And then comes the grief that you have been giving your power away so much to the outside world because you didn't believe in the worth of your existence. Hey friends, I hope you're doing well. It's been a long time since I've sat down and started just yapping and created a video for you, because so much has been happening and we've been working so hard behind the scenes. I have written my ebook, Unshame Yourself, which you can download for free the past couple of 6 months, which has taken me a lot more time than I expected it to be. But here I am again. And the other day I just realized how much we've been conditioned from a very young age because of relational trauma, emotional neglect, because of the society, the systems we're living in, because of the patriarchal system we are living in, where power over is praised, how much we've been conditioned to give our power away, to not listen to the truth that is living inside of us, to not trust our intuition, to not listen to our boundaries, our needs. From a very young age, we just learn that it is safer and better to trust the truth and authorities outside of us and to center authorities outside of us instead of listening to our own truth and our own selves. We're not being taught and conditioned and even shown how you can listen to yourself and the truth that is living inside of you. And I just find myself grieving a little bit the power that I've been giving away all those years, all those past, I'm 34 now, 34 years maybe even, to authorities outside of me, and to never trust the truth that is living inside of me, and even to have been taught to leave the truth that is living inside of me and to not listen to it and to feel deeply, deeply, deeply ashamed for it. And I find myself grieving the past couple of weeks this giving my power away, because in a way it feels so disempowering and so, how do you say that? It feels so sad to realize that the more you're on this healing journey, this journey of self-discovery, awakening, the more you find your voice and your inner strength and your power, the more you dare to be who you truly are, the more you grow, the more things come to you, the more you start living the life of your dreams. It's all the journey that I've been walking on as a psychologist myself. There come points where you realize again and again and again that you have been giving your power away again. And you start to realize and notice all the ways in which you are giving your power away to stay emotionally safe, to be seen as the kind, loving person, to be seen as a good person and not a bad person. We just learn from a very young age to suppress who we truly are, to stay emotionally safe and to survive. And I just realized the past couple of weeks, I don't know, I just sank into a deeper layer of coming home inside of myself and developing very beautiful new friendships and relationships in my life with people who feel deeply connected to my heart, deeply like-minded people who I deeply respect and deeply love, and together we're growing and we're building something beautiful on the background. I just realized how much I was distrusting myself and the world and life that was available for me. And I just realized again and again that it healed something deeply inside of me to experience those kind of relationships, but it also started to grieve the fact that I didn't believe that was possible for me, and also how I have been giving my power away to force connections, to force validation, to force recognition, to force emotional safety, because of lack, of scarcity, of distrust in myself and the world. And the fact that life is giving me all these experiences right now, which is very healing and which I'm very grateful for. I don't know, there's also this kind of grief, like I have been giving my power away to so many people who didn't deserve to have my power, because I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust my own power. Nobody taught me to trust myself and my own power when I was little. Even more so, nobody taught me this, but they also benefited from me not realizing I have everything inside of me, being dependent on them, the authorities outside of me, needing them, giving my power away to them. They benefited from that also, whether intentionally or not, whether they realized or not. The authorities outside of me who taught me, who conditioned me to give my power away to the authorities outside of me and to not trust the truth and the power that was living inside of me, they benefited from the fact that I gave my power away to them. Because me being dependent on the authorities outside of me gave them power, gave them validation, gave them recognition. And this may sound maybe a bit cryptical, but we are living in a society that is very emotionally immature, that is very emotionally neglectful. And that is slowly emotionally evolving, maturing. We are slowly learning the importance of emotional maturity, of emotional regulation, of emotional presence, of cleaning up your own shit and not projecting it out into the world, onto your children, your students, your partners, your parents, your leaders, whole other countries, ethnic groups, etc., etc., etc. We're slowly evolving emotionally. We're slowly learning, I'm having an emotional experience. I'm hurt. I have wounds inside of me. And I look through wounded glasses into the world, and I project my shit out into the world, which I should not do. But collectively, we're not there yet to fully understand that. So there is a lot of relational trauma and emotional neglect because of that. And because of relational trauma and emotional neglect, we teach our children, our students, our partners, our employees to give their power away to authorities outside of them because they threaten us too much to grow up into their own authority. We need them to be dependent on us. We need them to need us because that makes us feel good. That makes us feel better. But because of that, we are perpetuating this power over this hierarchical power structure in all kinds of systems and structures and dynamics, family systems, culture systems, political systems, school systems, companies, etc., etc., etc. And because of that, from a young age, as a little child, because we are so dependent on the people around us to survive, we learn that it is unsafe to trust the truth that is living inside of us. We learn to look outside of ourselves for answers, for authority, to make choices. We learn to look outside of us for what is good and bad, and we don't learn to develop a healthy sense of self. Often because parents are so emotionally immature that they need their children to enmesh with them and to be mini versions of them, because then as a parent they feel safe, they feel seen, they feel validated, they feel recognized because they have wounds and grief and loneliness inside of them. And because of their emotional immaturity, they don't know how to deal with that. So they ask of their children, often subconsciously, unintentionally, to fulfill their unfulfilled needs. I talk about this more in my ebook and in a lot of videos. So through shaming, blaming, punishment, through dominating, controlling, manipulating, we ask of our children to leave their own truth, to suppress their authentic self, to feel ashamed for who they truly are, and to adapt to what makes us feel safe. And lately I've been sinking deeper and deeper into this. I'm like a recovering people pleaser. I'm a recovering codependent. I have enmeshment tendencies. So I was already known with the idea of giving your power away, but lately I've been realizing how much I have been giving it away, and how vulnerable I was raised, how vulnerable I was not having the boundaries, not daring to stand up for myself. But most of all, looking outside of myself to be seen, recognized, and validated, because nobody ever taught me how to do that. And then that just made me realize how much we have been giving our power away, how much we have been taught to center authorities outside of us. For example, for women to center men, but actually for everybody on this planet to center men, male authorities, male political leaders, authorities in general outside of us, to be scared of the truth that is living inside of us. I mean, we look We look outside of ourselves for validation, for recognition. Do I make the right choice? What do people think of me? If I do this, will my friends, my mother, my father, my partner, my boss, what will they think of me? How will they act? What will they do? Will they reject me, abandon me, mock me, ridicule me, swear at me? Will they get angry, etc.? We are afraid that if we walk on the streets in our home country and we do not conform to the codes, to what is normal, to what is expected, we will be exiled, right? Rejected, abandoned, bullied. So we center the truth of everybody around us. We feel deeply, deeply, deeply ashamed for our truth because we have never learned that it is okay that we have it, that it is okay to listen to it, that it is okay to speak it. And it makes us so vulnerable, so afraid, so prone to manipulation, control, domination. We've learned to fear our anger. We've learned to fear our hurt. We've learned to fear our boundaries. We've learned to give our power and everything away to the people outside of us so that we feel safe, emotionally safe in some way. So we also didn't learn how to create emotional safety inside of ourselves. And the motor behind it all, the energy behind it all is deeply, deeply, deeply ingrained shame, unworthiness. I call it the wound of unworthiness also. I have a video about that, the wound of unworthiness. Deeply, deeply embedded shame for who we truly are, in a way. And the fear that if the parts that we are suppressing out of shame, if they are being exposed, that has real scary consequences. So the motor behind giving our power away is shame and disbelief, also distrust in ourselves, in our own ability, in our own power to make something of life. Distrust in that we deserve love. Distrust in that we deserve to be seen, recognized, valued. Distrust in the fact that we deserve that our voice is being heard, etc., etc. So from a very young age, because of relational trauma, emotional neglect, shaming, blaming, control, patriarchy, power over the systems, hierarchical power structures, and the systems and authorities depending on our dependence on them, makes us so vulnerable. So vulnerable. So ashamed of who we truly are, giving our power away to everybody who wants to have it so that we finally find some peace, we think, or that we finally find safety, or that we finally get what we want. But we don't get what we want by giving our power away. We just create shame-based identity upon shame-based identity upon shame-based identity, all to make sure that the authorities that we give our power to see us, love us, recognize us, validate us, etc. So, and once you realize how much you have been giving your power away, oh, it hurts. It hurts so much. It's also freeing, it's liberating, it's healing, because you also have reconciled with a deeper sense of self-respect and self-worth and self-love. And then comes the grief that you have been giving your power away so much to the outside world because you didn't believe in the worth of your existence. And giving your power away can look like people-pleasing, having no boundaries, enmeshment, codependency, anxious attachment, avoided every anxious attachment style, also avoided every unhealthy attachment style, maybe. Suppressing your power, suppressing your needs, suppressing your authenticity, but also feeling so ashamed for parts of yourself that you hide those parts, you do your best to hide those parts for the outside world, not understanding that if you own and reclaim those parts, that you overcome your shame, and that is where your true power lies. It can look like centering. For women, it can look like centering man and the male gaze, trying to look a certain way, trying to conform to beauty standards that are here right now. Because if you lose your beauty according to those beauty standards, you lose the male validation, the male recognition, the male attention. But that is also already giving your power away. It is going to your parents' house and continuously doing something you don't want to do anymore because you're afraid of them getting angry or abandoning you or rejecting you. It is not speaking your truth in friendships. It is doing things you don't want to do in partnership, feeling resentful afterwards, but not ever communicating your no. Giving your power away means reading 100,000 books about what the purpose of life is, trying to find answers in books, but they are not your answers. You have to find your answers yourself. Giving your power away means conforming to certain scripts, certain paradigms of reality, certain truths, because you think that's the most safest to believe in, but it's not your truth. Giving your power away means trying to conform to certain expectations you think people have of you, but maybe they don't even have it, but you make those expectations and those assumptions around expectations. Giving your power away can mean a lot of things, but in essence, in core, it is driven by shame, the wound of unworthiness, emotional immaturity, emotional unsafety, and the fact that you were never taught how to trust the truth that is living inside of you and how to dare to live it. And that is where taking radical responsibility comes in. I also write about taking radical responsibility in my ebook, Unshame Yourself, and taking radical responsibility means understanding where you have been giving your power away for the sake of love, recognition, validation, staying emotionally safe, and reclaiming that power, centering yourself, owning your pain, owning your wounds, not asking of the outside world anymore to heal your wounds, to soothe your wounds, to tiptoe around your wounds. Taking radical responsibility of your pain, accepting reality as it is right now, and saying, oh my God, I have been giving my power away in so many ways, in so many forms, because I don't trust myself, because I don't love myself, because I don't believe that I deserve it. But even more so in core, because I feel deeply ashamed and I need the world around me to validate me, to soothe me, to recognize me, to meet the needs that my emotionally immature parents and authorities, teachers, leaders, whatever, weren't able to meet. It is emotionally maturing. It is taking radical responsibility. It is learning how to regulate yourself and centering yourself again, taking your power back. Start listening to yourself and start expressing the truth that is living inside of you. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the world. Taking your power back, not giving it away anymore. It's taking radical responsibility, being very honest about where you are giving it away and why. It is a bit of shadow work. It asks of you to understand, this is where I've been giving my power away because it was the easy way. It was soothing my childhood wounds, but now it's not helping me grow anymore. It's not helping me grow. It's not helping me transform. It's not empowering to keep on giving my power away. Because subconsciously, resentment grows. Everything you suppress still lives inside. It eats from the inside out. Resentment starts to grow. You start to feel depressed. You start to feel anxious. You start to get panic attacks. You start to dissociate from yourself. So you have to stop giving your power away if you truly want to heal, grow, and transform. Maybe this was a little bit of like a video where I went all over the place, because I started with my own experience and the grief that I felt of giving my power away. But it's time. It's time to not do that anymore, right? And if you want to read more about this or learn more about this, I've just finished, as I said, my ebook, Unshame Yourself, where I take you through the entire journey of awakening, healing, transformation, and empowerment, and taking radical responsibility. I explain to you what it means to give your power away, how you have been taught and conditioned to give your power away, what you can do to reclaim your power, what you need to do to reclaim your power. And I also write about relational trauma, emotional neglect, emotional regulation. I take you through the 7 steps of unshaming yourself, and you can read just all about it. It's a beautiful starting point for this entire journey. And you have reflection, prompts, journaling prompts, everything is in it. And yeah, just read it if you want to learn more about this. But at Beyond Psychology, we also have an entire platform that helps you with this entire journey of reclaiming your power, of healing from your past, reclaiming your power, taking radical responsibility, and transform yourself in your life so that you can live freely, authentically, and create the life you want. Individually and collectively together, we create a new world with new systems that are better for us all. Just check it out on the website. There's different levels you can tune into, different things. You can become a member. You can just buy a course. You can find it all on the website. And if you've made it this far, please share this video with friends whom you might think could use it too. Like, subscribe, reply. I will answer. I love your replies. And I see you in the next.